Hey, all right, everybody. Now, do you own a Vauxhall or an Opel Meriva B? Well, if you do, you'll know that finding a good modern car stereo is absolutely impossible for this car. All you can buy is a single-din plastic fascia unit. I'll put it on the screen by here now, and that costs about £70. Bit of a rip-off. Now, I wanted something that was modern, could have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, nice big screen, and built-in satnav, and all the other modern things that come with modern cars. And I think I've actually stumbled across the perfect thing. So keep watching and find out what I got for this car. You will be surprised. It is awesome. So let's get on with it. Right, so here we are in the car, and we can see the dashboard up there, the display there. And down here is the stereo, this bit here, and you cannot get a double din in there. You can only get a single din in there, which is rubbish. So I found something that's going to go up there. Let me get my finger out the way so you can see it. Up there, up by here, and it's going to put a 9-inch screen up there, okay? And that's going to connect down to this stereo down here. I think they've given me some sort of, with the kit, some plastic tools, so I assume I've got to try and lift that up and get this display out of here. So it does come with a, this is one of the parts, look, that goes on there. Then the other part goes on top of there, which I'll show in a bit. The big screen goes in that part, but this bit is going to go in place of this surround here. So I think I've got to lift that off there and lift this off here. I'll have a quick look and I'll get back to you. So I don't know if you can see here, I've tried to lift this thing up with this tool here, but I think there's a couple of screws behind there, so you have got to lift this up here. I'm trying to lift this up gently as I can. I'll try and pull it over here as well, like that. I'll try and pull it up a bit more. It's probably, it doesn't sound very nice when you're doing it, but anyway, let's try and pull that up there. You can see that it's trying to come up, isn't it? But I'm trying to do it with one hand, and it's a bit awkward. It is a bit awkward. But see if I can get my hand under there. Under there, so I pull that a bit up there. And there is, I don't know if you can see down there, there's one screw there. And there is one screw. I don't know if you can see it there, look, okay? So I'm going to have to remove this. I'm going to have to be careful, because there's a little doodle up there. So I'll take this out gently. I'm going to need two hands, and I'll undo these screws, and I'll get back to you. Right, okay then, I've managed to take this off here. Look, I'll show underneath there. It's just clipped in. Just be gentle as you go around. You can see all the clips. There was no wiring in that piece up there. I don't know what that's for. Something on different cars, and some cars do have a speaker in the centre there. Mine doesn't have a centre speaker, so you may find that you've got a centre speaker in there, but that shouldn't make it. You might have to take it out of the way because of this wiring here. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I've taken out the two torque screws. There was one there and one there. They're a T20. The torque screws that come out are a T20, so you need a T20 bit. I've loosened this off here, so this should lift off. So I've gone out of the way now. And if I turn it round there, you can see a connector at the back there, look. So I'm going to disconnect that, and this bit is all to go. Well, not to go in the bin, but just out of the way. So I can put the other bits on. So I'm going to disconnect that wire, and then we're going to have to look at some other things to do. Right, okay, so this is the new base you get here, and you can see that at the top there, that they screw in at the top. One there, and one there, like the original one, and it clips in down the bottom there. That's going to clip in there, and once you clip that in there, I don't know if you've got to screw this in first, we'll find out. But this here, let me just put this on there like that. That is the screen. Once this is pushed down and the screen's fitted on, you're going to have a big 9-inch screen on top of there. Ho, 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 ho. Doesn't that look fantastic? So there's a few more things to do. Now, you've got to connect this to the stereo, and to get the stereo out, you've got to take these panels off here. So there's a little bit more to it now. These panels, there's a little panel under there you've got to disconnect first. A little panel right down in there that comes out. Then these clip off either side. There might be some screws down there somewhere, and I can't quite remember. So I'll look at that when I get this off down here. I'll have a look, and this panel on this side's got to come off, and this panel on this side's got to come off, and this should show the screws for this, so you can draw this out and get to the wiring at the back of the stereo. But look at that. That's going to be fantastic. Right, okay, so looking down here, there's a panel that goes up in there, and you've got to use a plastic tool. This is on, it's got 2 clips there, and then it pulls up. That's not quite tight, but I'm just going to leave it down by there for now. Then just under there, you won't be able to see it probably, but there, can you see there? There's one there, and there's one there. You've got to try and pull these out. They are difficult to pull out. They've hurt my fingers trying to get them out, but I have pulled them out. And then there will be another bit to this. Let me try and get that out as well, if I can. Once they're out, you can take this bit out then, there. And there should be another one there as well. If you can get your head down here, you'll be able to see it, but and I'll pull it out there like that, and there's another one there. Now, once you take them out, this should free up this. Should be able to come apart by here. Let me see if I can get this tool down in it to start it off, like this. It is a bit difficult to... It's very difficult, but bear with me. Right, there we are. I've started that one now. Look, see, this one's coming off here. And you have got to... It's on there tight. And you've got to do exactly the same on this side. And the clips go right down to the bottom. And then this will slide... Once you get all the clips off, this will slide down and out. So let me do that and get back to you. Right, okay. This panel is off on this side. This panel is off on this side. Like I said, it's clipped in. You've got to undo these things here first. It is a bit awkward to get off. You do need to use some of these tools, and you do need to give it a bit of a pull. But once you've done that now, you've exposed 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to undo all these 4, and this will come out. So you can get to the wiring, which has got to go down through there and to the back of here. So I'll undo this now, and I'll get back to you once it's undone. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think these are T20 as well. Let me just check before I go any further. Let me find a T20, that's a T15. Is that a T20? Is a T20 there? Let's just check. Yeah, that's a T20 as well. So they're all, this T20 Torx bit is what you need. Right, okay then, I've taken the 4 bolts out of there and the T20s, and that makes this all come loosey-goosey. Now the radio doesn't come out, it's just the front. And there's some wiring to undo. There's one wire here, there's one wire at the top there, there's one at the bottom. I'll try and put the phone round this way and see if you can see it. There's one at the back end somewhere, and there is one down the bottom there, there's one down the bottom there, and there is one over there as well. So there's 4 wires to undo. Once I've undone them 4 wires, there's some more screws on this stereo. Let me bring the camera up here. There's some more screws on this stereo, T20s again, to take the stereo out, because that's where the wiring is. So I'll unclip this and take some screws out of there. Right, okay, the stereo's out. There was only 2 more screws at the top, because the other screws at the bottom go through that faceplate and through there to hold it all in. So there's only 2 more screws, and then you pull this out, and you can see there's wiring at the back of mine there. I've got 1 plug over there and 1 aerial plug. That's all at the back of mine at the moment. So I'm going to take them off and take the stereo out of the way. Like I said, you might have a different model. Like if you're doing the model that does actually have a satnav, you're going to have more wires in the back of there, and you're going to have more wires in the back of there. So I'm going to take the stereo out now. So that leaves me with all the wires exposed. And I will say one thing before you start this process. There is a few settings on this stereo that you use for the car, so you want to set it up the way you want to use it before you take everything apart, because this might not work after, because you're taking the plug out to the back. So anyway, I'll get out of the way and we'll have a look what the wiring's like. Right, okay, just to show you how I've done it, you get this extended aerial wire. There's a little hole down there, you can probably see it, but there's a little hole around about here. There's a gap there, it goes in front of the vents, and I've put this wire down first and connected it. Then, I don't know if you can see here, I've taped this bunch of wires to this and pulled it up. So I pulled them up through that way. You can't come down. This block here is too big to go down, so you've got to pull the wires up that way there. So I've got this wire to go all the way down, then I've taped it and then pulled it back up, if you know what I mean. So that's where I've got the wires coming down. You can't go around the back of there because it wouldn't be long enough, so you've got to go from there to there. From there, sorry, to in there. So I can connect that now to this block here, and I've already got the aerial connected. So I'll connect them up now, and there is a few other wires in here. I think there's a mic wire, there's a wire for satnav, and there is a USB cable as well. So I'll check all them out and get back to you now. So this is the back of the unit here. I've taken this piece off here, like that. It's 4 screws holding that on. 4 tiny screws like this, holding that on there. Don't know if you can see that tiny screw there. There's 4 of them. And the only trouble now is that there's not much room to put the wiring in here. You can put the wiring in here, but then it's a bit awkward when you go on the car, because you've got to put that back on there, and then you've got to put the base under there. And I haven't got much wire poking out, so I'm going to have to try and get some more wire poking out, I think. Now, the way this works is the main wiring is this part here for the stereo. Then you've got these extra wires here. That's for plugging in aux in, mic, etc. I think that goes in that plug socket there. You've got, like I said, you've got, I think this is a CAN bus box here. You've got the microphone there. The mic, I think the mic goes into this one here, if you've got that plugged in. This by here is the fan. There's a fan on the back of there, look, to keep it cool. And that plug is on the other harness that's connected to the car. And there is a few more harnesses. Like I said, is this here, look. You've got this box here, which I think is the satnav. And then you've got some USB cables. Let me just turn that around there. Let me just get them out. Let's get them out. Let's get them out. And then you've got these here. That's USB, look, see? Not USB-C. USB-C. And they plug into the small ones there, I think, somewhere. They plug into them, and then that gives you USB-C. So the trouble is, there's no instructions at all for this, so you're going to have to follow what I do. There is no instructions at all in the box. See, there's the box. All it is stuff, no instructions. You just got to use your common sense, I suppose. Anyway, let's get on with it. Right, okay, I've hit a bit of a problem. I did put these wires through here, this here, but they've made them too short. So when you put the wires up through, there's not enough room and slack to do all. But basically, you can't put this big plug will not fit down that way. Okay, it won't fit down that way. So when you put it all together, it won't go down there. If you try and put the plugs up, there's not enough wire to play with, because you can't pull it up far enough to pull all this in. So if the manufacturer's watching this, make this like wire longer. It needs to be at least, I don't know, quite a bit longer actually, to make everything more accessible. It's hard to say, but when you plug it in down there, when you plug this in down and behind there, I've just put that in for a minute. There's only a bit of wire sticking up, and you've got to take the back of this off to put the wires on, then screw the back on. But you can't screw the back on because there's not enough room to play. You know what I mean? You need the thing up in the air to do it. So I'm going to extend this myself, and I'm going to put some connectors. I'm going to extend it. I'm going to cut it there maybe. Extend this with some small connectors so we can go down through there, connect back to this piece, then connect to that piece. If that makes any sense, I don't know. That's the only way I think I'm doing it. All the other wires, look, they're huge, they're long. They're long enough. But this actual main harness is not long enough. And I think this is a CAN bus type thing here that comes with it. Anyway, I'm going to have to wait now and do some wiring. Right, okay, it's actually the next day now, and I've extended the wires from there to there. I've put some new connectors on it, crimp connectors, and then I've made that there, look, so that connects onto the end of there and goes on there. So I've done that, I've extended that, so that's small enough to go down the hole down there. There's a few other wires I've got to put through as well, and the aerial wire, that goes to that thing up there. So I'm going to try and put all that now down through there. There's a hole there either side, but there's a hole there. I'm trying to put it down there. You don't need to put the radio back in because it won't be connected. That will still go on there, obviously. But I think I'm gonna put 2 washers on there, 1 washer on there, 1 washer on there, to make it so it was in the same position as before. If you don't put the radio in, there's more room for all these wires going down. So anyway, I can't film it and do it. I need both my hands. So I will be back and hopefully it'll be successful. Right, okay. I've managed to get that up there and the wires down through there by extending them. And with these plugs on, like I said, this will not go through. So I've got the USB cables coming down. I've got the FM aerial coming down, and then I have got the satnav wire up here. The satnav, this little box up here. This is for the satnav. I did say it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so I might not need the satnav, but it's nice to have. So I'll try and fit that up there somewhere at the back. And it does go in there. And look at that, doesn't it look nice? It does fit in there nice, look. I don't know if you can see there. You've got to put the screws in the back there, but it's all fitting in and tidy. Let's put it together and see if it works. Right, okay then. This is the moment of truth. I'm going to turn the key on, like so. And let's see what happens. Android, come up on the screen. And I haven't taken the screen protector off yet. But let's see how long it takes to boot up. It's taking a while, isn't it? I don't know if it's just because it's the first time power's going to it. Little Android fella there, look. And let's see what the screen comes on like now. Come on, hurry up. Here we go. It should come on any minute now, hopefully. It might be because it's the first time it's powered up, because maybe ours come on now, look, okay. Now, you can change the skins on here, but isn't that nice? Look at that. That's better than having this. Yeah, remember this here? Now, this is the original thing there. That little crappy... It's not going to focus, is it? That little crappy thing there, look. Now we got that there, look. That's lovely, isn't it? Let's just see if our navigation... Oh, I better not press that. Because you'll see where I live. So I think I'm going to play around with this. I think it's... Let me just have a look on here in the apps. So we got auxiliary in, PT music, car info. I'm not quite sure how to put the link this phone for Apple Android yet. Android Auto, because I got an Android phone. Let's look at this here. Let's press that. I still got the screen on the thing, protector on a minute. You got a huge graphic equalizer there, look. Look how many settings are on that there, look. Let's go back home. I haven't plugged this in tidy yet. You've got your phone there, look. I haven't connected it yet. Let's go back there. Radio should be working, I assume. Yeah, well, look, we got the radio. Now, the controls, they do work, but they're not quite right. So if I press, that's going down for the sound, and this one's going up. This one does something else. This is changing the settings, look, so it's not quite right yet. You can go in and change all the settings. You can sort it out. You can change that on that, so all this will work on there. Now I'm wondering if the buttons on this are going to work on that. So I'll do that next. Right, okay. I've connected the phone. And look, Android Auto has come up on the screen there, and I got my phone in the hand. It's not connected via USB. It's going via Bluetooth. So it has got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it connects wirelessly via Bluetooth. And also, another bonus is, if you look by here, I'll try and come a bit further. If I turn this here, look, the volume up there is going up and down. And so a lot of these buttons actually work on this unit here. And if I go down here, and do the thing, look. See that there, if I do the fan? So it shows all the fan comes up on there like I used to on the other screen. There, look. Isn't that fantastic, look? I don't know if you can see that there, look. Got the temperature there. And then it's got the fan. It's got the recirculation and aircon off and on. If I press the aircon like that, it should come on. Aircon, see, look, AC on, AC off. And if I press the recirculation on, recirculation, look at that. Hey! So everything's, I don't know if that, oh, that works there as well. These buttons here is showing where the air is going. So that is absolutely fantastic. So there we are. I'll put all the links in the description and the prices and everything. But it's from AliExpress, this unit. Let me just turn that fan off. It's from AliExpress. If you look, you'll probably find Meriva B, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, because there are loads and loads of different types of units. But I'll put the one that I bought in the description. But it might change because AliExpress always changes their web pages. So any questions about this, ask me. Like I said, I had to extend the wires. But there we are, look. It's got its own satnav as well as it's got satnav from here. I didn't really need to put that on it in there really because it's got satnav from the phone. But anyway, there we are. That looks fantastic. Right, okay. I wanted to add something extra by here. I didn't know this was on here, this function at all. It's got the tyre pressure sensing system. Now, originally, it just showed up as a warning light on you. It didn't tell you what tyre pressures you have. Now, I know exactly what pressures in each tyre, look, which is fantastic. And there is a few other settings on you. I said you might lose settings on here, but apparently they do put them on this screen as well. So there's that as well. And also, if I open the door on this side, it actually just gives a graphic showing which door is open. And that does it for all doors. That's the magic tree falling down there. And if I put the ignition on by here, and I put the car in reverse, if focus please camera, and I focus. If I put in reverse, it should come on now. You can see there, I've actually got a graphic. Instead of just beeping, I've got a graphic as well now, showing which sensors are the closest. So that is fantastic. So I thought I'd add that bit as well. And like I said, subscribe, like, notification bell. See you in the next one.